Hello everyone, this is a joint broadcast by Pass and Go Türkiye. Today I'm going to welcome two guests, actually two expats living in Istanbul. I'll treat them some Turkish coffee, maybe some Turkish dessert, so that we can talk about their wonderful Türkiye and Istanbul memories. Buckle up, it's coming up now. Here we are at Eagle Lounge, and today I have two wonderful guests. One of them is a British beauty, successful actress, Yasemin K. Allen. And my other guest is a real French gentleman, general manager of Fairmont Hotel Istanbul, Mr. Nicolas Kipper. You both welcome.
Hi.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
I'm so glad to see you at Eagle Lounge. How are you?
Good. Thank you for having us.
Excellent, great stuff.
I'm so excited to hear about your Istanbul and Turkey memories. So right away, I'm going to give my first question to you, Mr. Nicolas. So I know you're a big-time Turkey lover.
Absolutely.
So I want to hear about your Istanbul story first. So how everything started.
So my Istanbul story started 23 years ago, actually, precisely. When I first was assigned here in Istanbul, I had a wonderful experience for 2 years, and I fell in love with the city immediately. I didn't have time to visit the country that much, but I recovered afterwards as I came back 4 years ago now, and I'm heading the Fairmont in Istanbul. Meanwhile, those times have passed. I've spent a lot of time traveling the world. I've studied hotel business in France, and then Istanbul, Turkey, actually my 16th country where I'm living in. And that's my third assignment in Turkey. So
16?
Absolutely,
Wow,
16.
wow.
Thank you.
We say mashallah.
I know mashallah. I learned that much Turkish, it's okay. Fell in love with the city, great country.
Wow.
Great variety of sceneries as well to visit, sea, mountain, and obviously beautiful Bosphorus and beautiful Istanbul.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So it has been overall how many years then?
So in aggregate, I spent 6 years living in Istanbul. And before you ask me the question, I've restarted my Turkish lessons. So soon we'll be able to do that interview in Turkish and not in English anymore. But yeah, no, looking forward to it, to learn Turkish, to spend more quality time here, enjoying all the beauties of the restaurants and all the attractions in town, definitely.
But I know that your first time was in Turkey 20-something years ago.
Absolutely.
Right? And then years after, you come back to Turkey.
That's correct.
So what was the difference that you've seen between those years?
The good thing about it is that few things have changed that were not supposed to change, and that's great. You know, the Turkish hospitality, the great feeling of welcome, and really that's not a cliche, it's really serious, and people have always made the difference when you come to a place like this. And you know, all the bubbly parts of Istanbul, Sultanahmet, you know, traffic sometimes you wish it wouldn't be there, but it's part of the fun, you know. So it's actually quite nice to see that all these things haven't changed. On the flip side of it, great improvement in infrastructure, you know, the bridges, the tunnels. I think it eases the circulation as well. But no, all the good parts have stayed, and a lot of the other parts have improved actually. So great stuff to come back to Istanbul, definitely.
Very, very glad to hear all about these details.
Absolutely.
So Yasmin, how about you? What's your story?
What's my story? I grew up here. I consider myself to be an Istanbulite. I'm from Istanbul. I've spent, I think, 22 years of my life in total in Turkey. And yeah, I know it better than any other city. I went to Turkish State Primary School. I learned to read and write in Turkish, and the first 11 years of my life passed here. And then I went to high school in Australia and then came back here in 2008, and I've been here for the most part since then. And yeah, my mum moved here in the late 60s, and she was an established actress and singer by the time that she fell pregnant with me. So that's why I was born here. Well, I was born in London, but grew up here.
So Yasmin, I know that you have lots of international friends. They're coming to Istanbul. You host them.
Yeah.
We all know about these. You love it, I know.
Yes.
So, what's the most compliment that you hear about Istanbul or Turkey?
I love hosting friends who've never been here before or have no idea about it, because they usually have an impression of it that's completely different to what they come across.
Absolutely.
Especially, I mean, you know, Istanbul is the place that I know best, so I can show them around, and they just, their minds are blown, and I'm like, yeah, that's why we love it here. You know, it's it's just the variety of experience, the variety like of different kinds of cultures that you get to experience here, and you go from one town to the next, and it's completely different. Like the architecture, the views. Yeah, they're blown away usually, just how beautiful it is and how exciting it is.
Especially Istanbul.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
all love.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, I host lots of friends in Turkey, in Istanbul.
Yeah.
When they come first, you know, they got really impressed and they say they never seen such
Never
a
seen
thing.
anything like it.
Exactly.
They have all the wrong preconceived ideas
Yeah.
and expectations, and
Yeah.
when they come here, everybody's blown away.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
No doubt
totally
about it.
changed their mind actually after visiting Istanbul. So speaking of Istanbul, I really wonder your favorite neighborhoods. Nicholas.
Very difficult to answer a question, because there are lots of different parts of Istanbul that are very different from one to each other. I think lately, since I came back to Istanbul, Galata area has been one of my favorite ones. Great cosmopolitan place, different type of people, different backgrounds, great art places and great historical places, rooftop bars, so a lot of different variety. But I must say the magic of the Bosphorus always takes it over at some stage, right? So
Yeah.
I love to go in the morning for a run in Tarabya. But really, after all that, Arnavutköy is most probably my favorite place in Istanbul. Beautiful wooden houses and all these little paths and
We
the
call them
driving.
yalı, those wooden houses by the ocean.
One more word that I learned today. Thank you. So no, definitely very nice. And I think there's some hidden gems on the Asian side as well that probably people don't know that much. But Günzüncük, no, Günzüncük.
Kuzguncuk.
Kuzguncuk.
Yeah.
Thank you very
You
much.
are.
Sorry.
Very nice place there, very green and all that. So yeah, and, very lots of little nice places to discover in Istanbul. Love that.
Kuzguncuk is famous for its fish restaurants.
Yeah.
It's
Absolutely.
also its mosques.
Yeah.
It's on the Asian side of Turkey, in the Anatolian part
Exactly.
of Turkey we call. So it's my favorite place as well. You know,
Kuzguncuk
one
is
of my
nice.
favorites.
Yeah.
It's very nice, very nice.
Some of the places I'm like, should we tell people or should we keep it? a
Exactly.
secret?
Yeah, it's good to
Or-
keep it for ourselves.
Keep it secret.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, no, definitely beautiful places around. Absolutely.
So, how about you, Yasmin?
Yeah, Cihangir and Taksim used to be my old sort of haunts where I would hang out with my friends a lot, but you know, the Beyoğlu area, and I do love Galata as well.
I call those neighborhoods like the Soho of Istanbul.
It is.
basically, yeah.
It
yeah.
is.
And Tarlabaşı is really cool if you can kind of know your way around, but obviously you don't want to, you know, make the locals uncomfortable. But now I'm more of a Sarıyer kind of girl. I love, Tarabya, Yeniköy, just walking around there just because it's just so fresh and you get to look out at the Bosphorus. And I love walking. And Istanbul is, if you like to walk and you don't get tired quickly because there's lots of hills up and down and it's quite
That's the best
chaotic.
way to discover a city. What do you
Always.
think? Right?
Yeah.
The walking.
So it's really good for that actually. So it's Yeniköy, Tarabya, my sort of favorite.
I must say I prefer to go around with my mountain bike, but that has difficulties in Istanbul with the hills
With
precisely.
the hills and the traffic.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I shifted to walking as well.
Walking,
Yes.
yeah.
In all those old cities, if there's especially like up
Yeah.
and down hills, it's so
You've
hard
got to keep your eyes on the road as well, like with all the-
Exactly, because the city is not flat.
Yeah.
We have like 7 hills,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Famous 7 hills.
The
So
famous 7 hills, yeah. And you know, while walking in Tarabya as well, with the lack of boats as well in the morning, often you see the dolphins
Yes.
going around. It's
Oh,
beautiful.
Stop saying the things that I was going to say.
I apologize.
I'm going to ask you first. And
Looks
then...
like we made that up, no?
Yeah,
No, it's beautiful. It's
amazing.
amazing.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love that. That's one of my fondest memories, actually.
yeah, the dolphins
in
actually in
Istanbul.
this season especially,
Because
right?
there's no one around.
March,
Yeah.
April, May, and last year in particular because there were a lot less boats
Yeah, exactly.
because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
You can still walk and run and watch them and take pictures early in the morning. Early in the morning.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can eventually go and swim with them as well, but I wouldn't do that. So it's okay.
So very glad to hear all these details from you, but I also wonder your favorite destinations in Turkey, not only in Istanbul. We have lots of summer cities, very historical cities as well in Anatolian part. We have some winter destinations too. So Nicholas, what's your favorite destinations in Turkey?
That's a difficult one. I mean, besides Istanbul, of course. I like Bodrum. I really love Bodrum, the vibe of Bodrum in the summer in particular, but as well off-season, you know. I mean, it's nice to go to Bodrum where there's hardly anybody there. It really gives a good feeling, you know, like, you know it's bubbly and all that, but when it's empty, it's quite nice as well. You see a lot of locals. I like a bit more remote areas like Fethiye, Marmaris, Datça.
But they are all very close to each other.
Yeah,
That's
they're
the other
very-
advantage.
Yeah. So it's more nature oriented there, and it's more my cup of tea kind of thing. And I love skiing as well. So I discovered a couple of years ago Palandöken,
Yes.
Palandöken, and Uludağ, Bolu, even Kayseri. So I love that. It was a big discovery for me, and to realize that actually the country has a lot of mountains. I mean, once you fly over the whole Turkey, you realize most of the country is covered in mountains.
And in
actually.
Palandöken, we had the Winter Olympic Games a couple of years ago, actually, because it's the highest, actually, the mountain resort in Turkey. It is very popular as well, not only in Turkey, in all the regions. So you picked the best one.
A lot of foreigners go there, and even national teams of other countries come to practice there. I've seen that when I was there, so it's very, very impressive. Yeah, very nice.
So since you're a French, you're expert in skiing, so it's very good to hear such comments about Palandöken from you.
Expertise in the resorts of skiing, maybe not that much as a skier, but yes, fair enough.
So how about you, Yasemin?
Rather than Bodrum, I'm more of an Alaçatı girl, to be honest.
Uh-huh.
I just prefer it there. I feel like there's a real mystic air about the place. I love the wind there, and just sort of it just makes your heart feel really open. You can take a really nice deep breath. It's just a lovely place. But other than that, Mardin is a really special place, real cultural hub with Turkish, Kurdish culture and Assyrian culture.
It's a melting pot.
Yeah, exactly.
Mardin is definitely a melting pot
Yeah.
from different cultures and religions, as you said.
Yeah, there's the Mardin Biennale, which is really nice, and you can get some really nice Assyrian wine. It's fantastic.
I need to do that.
Yeah, and what else? I mean, if you like beautiful green pastures, there's Artvin, obviously. Delicious cornbread and amazing butter.
Wow.
Really, really good.
Artvin is in Black Sea region of Turkey.
Yeah.
And it's famous for its honey, I believe, right?
For its honey.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Yeah.
it's cornbread and butter, but yeah, possibly.
I'll ask tips because I haven't been
didn't
to the
try
Black
any.
Sea yet,
Yeah.
so I will ask tips
You
to
should
you
definitely
guys.
go to Black
I
Sea.
don't know.
All right.
It's amazing. It's totally something different.
I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, and where else? So many wonderful places. I've still got to, this year is my plan to just get a car and drive around and see all the places because there is so much. And there's the Mosaic Museum in Hatay, which is really wonderful, obviously.
You guys been to Cappadocia?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love Cappadocia.
yeah.
When we talking about the destinations in Turkey,
Beautiful.
Yeah.
that's I mean, if it's not a summer destination, so Cappadocia
But
is
it's a whole year
amazing.
destination, really. So
Freezing cold in winter is
Yeah, the spring and
Yeah.
fall, I think is the best season to go to Cappadocia to enjoy those balloon tours,
But
especially.
I thought that when I saw the snow, there was a thin layer of snow over all these monuments. Can't remember when it was. It has a certain charm that you don't
Yeah.
see when there is no snow.
Yeah.
But yeah, the balloons, I did it on my third attempt, so yeah, I know. So
But actually in Cappadocia, if you go in winter, you can visit those caves, those undercities.
Oh, really?
That's the other thing. Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
so only in the winter you can't. go in
Yeah,
the
and
summer.
because the outside is cold, but you go into those undercities to discover hidden churches.
Yeah.
So that's another option to do
Yeah,
actually
I've
in
done that
Cappadocia,
in
rather
spring.
than going on in spring or fall.
Yeah.
good idea actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I rode around there. We were filming a TV series there a few years ago, and we went on the ATVs as a group and just drove around the Peribacaları. It was amazing, beautiful place. Yeah.
So speaking of destinations, I'm sure when you visit all these places, you also had a chance to try some Turkish cuisine items,
Of course.
and I really wonder your favorite ones. So Yasemin.
Okay. So the one thing that I really, really craved when I lived overseas recently was it's Adana kebab.
That's my favorite too.
It's so good. There's a dürümcü in Istinye by the lights, just says dürümcüm, and they do the best Adana dürüm actually, and it's just one of my favorite spots.
They
to
wrap
go.
it, right?
Yeah, it's really, really good. But I haven't had it in Adana yet, so
You should. I can
definitely-
confirm.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Oh, you had it in Adana?
Absolutely.
The original Adana kebab.
Well, I'm not sure it's the original, but at least I had one in
It was
Adana,
in
so I
Adana,
guess so.
yeah.
That's the closest you get to.
Yeah.
By the way, believe or not, a couple of years ago, I hosted Harrison Ford's son, Ben Ford, which is a celebrity chef. We went to Adana together, and he did Adana kebab there. He's an American chef. So when we talk about Adana kebab, it always reminds me my memories with Harrison Ford
Yeah, I
and his
didn't know
son.
he was in Cappadocia in Adana. Nice.
So how about?
Did you try the one that he made?
Yeah, he did
Was
it
it
very
good?
well. He
Was
did
it
it
good?
very well. He was practicing actually before, of course, with some Turkish chefs. He
Yeah.
did very well.
Nice.
So Nicolas, how about your favorite Turkish food item?
My heart lays in food and beverage, so in my background. So I must say I love Turkish food. I mean, there's really hardly anything that I don't like.
Don't like, yeah.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
must say sweets are a little bit too sweet for me, though I have a very sweet tooth. But everything else, I love primarily the mix of aubergine in any kind of format. With grilled meat or grilled fish. It just goes all so well together with all these olive oil scented dishes and lemon and all that. So I'm a fan of Turkish food, what can I say?
So how about any street food? Because Istanbul is famous for its street food as well.
Kokoreç, of course.
Kokoreç.
We had recently in the hotel kokoreç, and I discovered that a lot of Turks actually they never had before. So it was very good experience, yeah, definitely.
So do you cook? Any of you?
I do.
Even though you eat all those food, you look really sharp. So
That's why I spend a lot of time in the gym. It's not because I like it, it's because I like to eat.
you have to to compensate everything.
You have to.
I mean, when there's such good chefs in the city everywhere, I just know that any attempt that I have at home to try and recreate any of the dishes is probably not going to be so good. So, if I'm looking for something specific, I'll just go have it somewhere else. I do cook, but
Istanbul
not
is
like
really
Turkish chefs.
one of those gastronomical capital in the world, I believe.
Yeah,
You can find everything from every culture. So it's definitely a heaven for food lovers, but we should also be careful about it, of course.
No, and really, I think there is a new generation of Turkish chefs, younger chefs, that do use a lot of Turkish items as a base for the cuisine, but they adapt it to what they've learned, whether it is in France or in Italy, and they create some amazing dishes now that are really very tasty, and you can identify the Turkish origin in there. But the way it's presented, it looks absolutely nothing like Turkish food, right? So it's really good, actually. I like that.
So how about an airport? So we are at Istanbul Grand Airport at Iga Lounge. So I really want to ask you the meaning of airport in your life. What would you say? Nicolas.
My first time in the airport. No, I'm joking. I have been traveling quite extensively, particularly since I'm in Istanbul. So I know this airport very well, actually. But in general, for me, airport means freedom and vacation kind of thing. Even if freedom has taken a toll now because you have to wear masks, you have to undress when you arrive, but it has always that mystical feeling where you get this mix of excitement and discovery of new things coming up. For me, the airports in general is a great place, and I must say particularly about Istanbul Airport, the way it has been laid out, the variety of shops, but food as well, attractions for kids, I think it has been greatly. It's vast. You need to walk a bit, but it helps you to discover the airport really, and there's always something new, so I like that. It's very nice.
It's the biggest in the world.
I know. I've done quite a few of them, and this one is good for fitness actually. When you come out of a plane, at least you can walk and get a little bit some exercise. No, great experiences here, definitely.
How about you, Yasmin?
Yeah, freedom, adventure. I mean, I've traveled a lot since I was a kid, so I don't like staying in one place for too long. I do like to move around, and just feels nice to be here actually right now. And it's such a beautiful airport, just really comfortable, beautifully lit, just really nice ambience. So freedom, adventure, and excitement.
Here is our Turkish coffee.
Hey.
I would like to treat you
There we
some
go.
traditional Turkish coffee, if you don't mind.
Not at all.
Perfect.
Contrary, exactly what we need.
Do you like Turkish coffee, Nicolas?
I love Turkish coffee. Very nice. No
How-
sugar, sade.
How do you drink? Yeah.
Sade.
Sade.
Means plain, no sugar.
And you?
I drink like at least 3 times a day, at least. And how about you, Yasmin?
Yeah, I mean, when I'm working, it's like constant just a barrage of coffee and tea on set all the time. So like, Turkish coffee, and we'll always look at each other and go, Turkish coffee, Turkish coffee. So it can be an obscene amount, but 4, fine.
But compared to all of other coffees, It's very smooth, more silky, let's say.
It goes
right?
down really quick, so you don't realize how much you're drinking during the day.
Except the
Exactly.
first time you drink Turkish coffee and your Turkish friends obviously don't tell you not to drink the whole cup. And that's your first surprise. After that, it's very smooth, yes.
So please, let's enjoy. So Yasmin, you travel around the world in a professional way as well, because you're an actress. So how do you see Turkish film industry?
Yeah, I consider myself to be very lucky to be able to travel the world and work in this wonderful industry. The Turkish film and TV industry is booming, to say the least. And with internet platforms and TV series becoming available to all different cultures, Turkey's always had a really wide audience, even if it wasn't open so much to America or Europe. Even a few years ago, that's really changed now, and it's really developing in regards to TV. And the audiences, the things that audiences want are changing as well, because they get to watch TV series from lots of different cultures because of internet platforms. So it makes me really happy that Turkish TV series are reaching a wider audience, because there are so many talented people here and such a wide variety of stories to tell. So I'm really excited actually about where the industry is going to go here, and all the people who are going to experience all these stories that we love to tell.
We have lots of stories actually in Turkey
Yeah.
to cover, and also lots of venues,
Yeah.
natural venues.
And I can add that a lot of series are actually filmed at the Fairmont, Istanbul these days.
Oh,
so
wow.
you can
Wow.
find a hotel there,
Yeah,
absolutely.
the Turkish soap operas are famous all around the world. We export them,
I know,
as you
I
know.
know.
We are the second biggest exporter of
Yep.
soap operas in the world. And as I said, also lots of film production companies are coming to Istanbul
to
to
film.
film
Correct.
their productions, obviously. So
Yeah.
Turkey is a natural plateau for
Yeah.
them. So I'm sure you hear about our success about this as Turkey in the
I've
world.
been a part of it. Yeah, yeah. No, it's been. I mean, I'm just really proud to be part of the industry here, actually. So I've been doing it since 2008, and just to watch it grow and watch it flourish like that is it's really exciting. Yeah, really, really nice.
So Nicolas, I would like to ask my last question to you. Since you've been traveling all around the world and you have such a huge experience in Turkey, how do you see our progress in tourism?
It's a very interesting question, because when I was here, nearly a quarter of a century ago, there was a lot of development that was still needed in Turkey and in promoting Turkish management, Turkish people. And now that I've come back after so many years, it's great to see a lot of general managers are now Turkish. And even, a lot of companies having trained and developed Turkish people are sending them abroad. The sense of hospitality is not something that you can learn easily. So this is in the genes. So people use that a lot. And it's great to see that over 2 generations now, really a lot of the management of the hotels are done, and not only general managers, but the whole hotel and tourism sector are led with Turkish people. And I think that is a very good future for the country and a very good sign. So I can only encourage that further, definitely.
So lots of changes in positive way.
Lots of positive changes, absolutely.
I'm so glad to hear it from such a tourism expert like you.
Pleasure.
So how about the Eagle Lounge? Did you guys like the lounge area?
Yeah, yeah.
Great coffee.
Great coffee.
Great coffee.
Absolutely, great coffee.
So Nicolas, because you love lunches, I know, you travel a lot. So how did you find it?
It's not that I love them, I spend a lot of time in them, so I learn to appreciate them. Really, I mean, the sense of peacefulness, because there is, good acoustic in the airport that reflects in the lounge as well. And it's a very cozy, luxurious touches, but very cozy lounge. So you can be in the middle of everything and at the same time be quite isolated from the crowd. And the grill section and the desserts, top notch.
You know what I say? The vacation starts in the lounge,
Yeah.
even
Absolutely.
before flying.
And that's a great way to start it.
So glad to hear from you. So how about you, Yasmin? How did you find it?
Super comfy. I'm about to fall asleep. Yeah, I'm joking. It's great. There's lots of different areas. So, I mean, there's partitions between the areas. So there's lots of privacy, even though it's an open space. So it feels breathable. You don't feel cooped in. And like you said, the acoustic and the sound is really nice, really quiet. Yeah, delicious coffee. And it's just really comfortable. Yeah, really nice. Thank you for inviting.
You're welcome. So I'm so glad to have you today at the Eagle Lounge. It was my pleasure.
Thank
So
you.
hope to meet again, and maybe we will fly all together.
Absolutely.
to somewhere.
Let's do that.
So I'm so glad to hear all these comments about Eagle Lounge and Istanbul Grand Airport, and it was my pleasure to host you today. So thank you very much for your coming.
Pleasure for coming, and thank you very much for the invitation, really.
So that's all for the week. We'll meet again next week with our new guest at Eagle Lounge. So please follow us on YouTube and Instagram accounts of Eagle Pass and Go Turkey for our new episodes. See you soon.